Mm, mm, Hey, what up guys, we're back with a brand new video, and today I'm going to show you everything that you need to know to play Venom. So we're going to go over basic to more advanced tricks to attack that not a lot of people seem to be using. I've been trying to get it out to people, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Alright, so your first ability, which is going to be your primary fire, is your tendrils. You'll shoot 4 of these suckers out and they do 20 damage each, and they can headshot. When you're using tendrils, you really have to be super accurate when it comes to this ability. Even if you miss one tendril, you only do 60 damage. Compared to the other tanks where they're pretty much a guaranteed hit, they do around 80 to 90 damage. Every other tank does around that. Even if you miss one, for an example like this, like even doing like missing 1 or 2 is really going to hinder your ability to play Venom, just because he requires aim, and this isn't a hit scan, it's a projectile based weapon. So you go to the practice range and I want you to practice on the aim, because all of these tendrils do hit in a little bit of a different spot. So the best #1 tip I can give you for Venom, besides the movement tags, is literally just hitting your primary fires, because this is pretty lethal. He does the most amount of damage out of all the tanks just using his primary fire. But if you can't hit, it doesn't matter. Another basic tip is when you're about to hit your primary, combine it with melees. You'll do a little bit more damage, but as you can see on the screen, look, you can miss. When you play Venom and you're shooting your primary fire, please don't do this dumb shit. A lot of the problem I see when people do this is you're going to miss, dude. Like, dude, you are fat as shit. Like, if the person in front of you misses you, dog, they should just delete the game. But honestly, the only time you should jump is when you're dying or you're retreating or falling back, because it can actually help maybe avoid 1 or 2 shots, which honestly isn't that much, but if you're dying, you might as well. The only time you should jump is if you're low and you've had enough practice. Another thing I don't see people really utilizing is, remember how we talked about you can miss easily just like this? Please do not use your tendrils 24/7. If you're missing just like this, the person that's directly in front of you, bro, just melee. It will take 10 hits, around roughly 10 hits to kill a 275 HP hero. Literally, if you're missing, just melee. It is the best way to kill someone if you're missing. Obviously, you should melee in time. No, but if you're missing, melee, you'll kill them. Guaranteed. Alright, so basically, lesson 1, the most important thing is to practice your aim, practice hitting your headshots, but most importantly, right, practicing maneuvering your melees in between. Because if someone's really low, you're not going to be like, oh, I need to shoot. No, you're going to melee. That's the better part. You're going to melee. His melee isn't that strong by itself, right? But if you're missing, you might as well use it and use it in combination of both. Alright, your next ability is this little freaking CC thing. Will slow down enemies and will do 5 damage on impact, and I believe 50 on 50 or 60 when it blows up, and they have 3 seconds to run away, and if they don't run away, it blows up. So you pump it with your right click, boom, and after 3 seconds it should blow up. You don't want to be spamming this like crazy, because you do kind of need it in certain scenarios. What I see a lot of Venom players do is they'll jump in, right, and then boom, guys, we're here, use this immediately. You shouldn't use this immediately. One, if you're chasing a rocket raccoon, you're not going to catch them. You're chasing a Jeff, you just wasted an ability. You should only use this, right, if you know they're not going to get away. It's a nice slowdown and a nice burst of damage. But I see a lot of Venoms just spamming it. Don't spam it. He has very long cooldowns, and while you can get them relatively fast because he has 800 HP and doesn't feel that much, you should use it when you know they're not going to get away, or they use their movement abilities up. It is a great starter when you're diving in, but you shouldn't use it all the time realistically, okay? You do use it more than your leap, but don't be spamming this ability, because if a tank's getting pocketed, there's no point. You should not use this ability on a tank. You shouldn't, unless you're 1v1ing the tank or 2v1ing, because you can with Venom. do not use this ability. It's just fucking useless. You'll do like no damage, right? You literally have fucking more dick hairs than this shit, okay? Your next ability is basically your heal or your shield. When you get really low, you can pop a shield that, depending on how much HP you're missing, will give you more HP. So right now I'm at 75 HP, and when we click on it, will give 1000 HP. This is temporary health, so it will go down. You need to keep that in mind. But this is a nice survivability tool, and you shouldn't use it immediately when you're healthy, because it only gives you 900 HP. So you should wait until you get super low. Preferably you should not get at 75 HP, just due to the fact that you're gonna die and you're not that good, because I'm not good. I popped this around 150 HP to 200 HP. If they have like a hot guy, you better pop that bitch at like 400, because honestly some hot guys are just insane. This is on a 15-second cooldown. Preferably you want to use this when you're getting away, but let's say you're really low, right? Let's say you're at 200 HP. It's actually better to use your swing to get away and then save this ability. If you think you're going to die, use it up. But if you think you can escape, right, take the risk and don't use it, because it is a long second cooldown, right? And it is one of your tools you do want to do when you're engaging. So if you don't have your tendril up, you should realistically have this up, or your tendril. So what I mean by tendril is, you know, your main movement ability. You should either have that up or your E, because those are both escape options. Preferably your movement ability, but the E can help quite a bit. The next thing we're going to be talking about is his main movement ability, this thing right here. It's his main way to get around. It's an 8-second cooldown, so it isn't that long, and it does really replicate a lot of the Spider-Mans. But people are using it wrong. And I did talk about this in an earlier video, but this one's way more in depth. This next tip is very not complicated, but you know, way more advanced, and I'll teach you how to do it, and we'll go in slow motion. So instead of just grabbing the tendril just like this and then swooping just like that, there is a better option to do it. The better option, instead of doing that shit, right, is to tendril, look down, and then look to your left. What we're gonna do now, right, is tendril, look down, and then to the left. Next, we're going to be talking about some of the techs you can do. You can do this tech right here. Preferably, you only want to do this tech when you're super low HP, or you're resetting, you need to get a health pack, or you need to quickly go from here or there. Preferably, you don't want to use this all the time. I see a lot of people use this at the beginning when they get out of the match spawn, right? And they get no distance. Like, bro, do you think these 10 inches, right, are going to get you anywhere? No. You know what I mean? It's much better to climb on a wall or hop like on a ledge just like this, right? And then get to distance just like this. This allows you to have more control of your mobility, right? And you can either do it from either or. So I'll teach you how to do it from the right side right now. Just like this. Boom. And then go this. And it allows you to do this crazy movement tech right here. This can be very freaking useful. And you can actually reverse it depending on the structure of the building. And you can do some other crazier techs as well. I'll show you right now. So let's go here. And then let's say I don't want to go, right? We can reverse back, right? But you can't do this on every single structure because it's a little bit wonky, and me personally, I don't know what does what. The next tip, right, you don't necessarily need a high platform to always get distance. You could use a pull beside it, right, or something that isn't the ground. You can use the ground sometimes, but it has to be a little bit kind of like the stairway. So I'll show you right now. Like, oh, pretend this isn't here. Like, oh, how am I going to get there? I'm just going to do this. No, that's freaking stupid. Don't be stupid, okay? What you want to do is this. What you want to do is this. Climb onto this. And then boom, you'll get way more distance. But let's say you're on the floor right here, right? And let's say there's no building and there's no pole right here. You could literally just grab onto this, look up, right? And then slam on the floor just like that. And I will be showing more clips and more footage very soon. We're just kind of on the simple part right now. The next ability is your main engaging tool. So when you want to engage, when you're jumping on someone, you go and slam down and direct damage to 75. But you don't want to use it like this all the time. When I play Venom, I personally like either keeping my movement ability or my slam, because at the start of the match, I like using my slam as more kind of like a secondary tendril, so I can get more mobility. A lot of Venoms will make the mistake of going to a high ground, and they didn't use their tendril, but they use their slam like this, and then they do this, right? And then they go in and they try to assassinate the target. But the problem with this is, first of all, you suck at aiming. You're not going to hit shit, right? And third of all, you shouldn't be using this constantly just because you're not going to kill anybody usually at the start of the match. You can, but if the person is isolated, go ahead and do it. If they're not isolated, it's not a good idea to do it because you're not going to kill them. So when it comes to engaging, you have to decide on whether it's a good idea to use two abilities or just use one ability like in this clip right here. It's really up to the situation. So let's say they have like a lot of burst damage, right? Please at least save one of your mobility options to get out. But if they're like two isolated targets or one isolated target, right, you can use both or even all your abilities. It just really depends on what the situation is. And I can't tell you this personally, but I can give you a little reference. If they have a lot of firepower and they're really focusing you down, right, only engage with your slam and then dash out. But let's say they have two supports and not a lot of CC, you can just engage with your tendril and then save your slam. You can use both right at the beginning of the match, and if you do, right, you should honestly just slam, right, get out, tendril, or like slam, distract, tendril, and then slam again, so you can be annoying. But only do this if you're not going to die. Obviously, if you're going to die, then of course don't do it. Lastly, we're going to be talking about the ultimate. Basically, the ultimate deletes 50% of the max HP target of the hero. So let's say Hulk is ulting. And he has 1400 HP. It is better to save your ult for this occasion because you'll delete half of their HP, and that's what you should do. So if you're going against a Hulk, you can save it for him, but you get your ult way faster than he does. But if this Hulk is really good, he's going to get his ult more often. Basically, you'll go onto the floor and you'll have a few seconds right before you can chomp, and then you'll go and miss half of their HP. There is a better strategy though. There is a better strategy in how to get an actual kill with this thing. Now I'm going to teach you the ultimate combo. Well, it's not, you know, it's like not the actual, but like the combo you can do with the ultimate is what I like doing first, right? Is I like engaging my target, at least hit 4 of my tendrils. You can hit headshots and then go through one melee stage. And then what I like doing is going up here, slamming down, using my slow, you might eat, and then finishing them off just like that. Obviously, you're not going to be able to do this all the time, especially if they're with their teammates. You shouldn't use this all the time. You shouldn't, but when you can, you should. Another safe bet, if you don't want to use your tendril and you want to get the fuck out of there, is to engage just like this. You want to use your dash, slow down, underground, chomp, headshot, and then try to finish them off. If you do have a damage amp, you can kill people, but it usually is only to help the team out so they can kill them as well. Now we're going to go to the very advanced tips. A lot of Venoms don't like using their wall utility for I don't know what reason. This is like one of the best mobility options in the entire game. You should constantly be using this ability because it has no cooldown. Especially if you're running one. You should be running more on walls than actually on the floor. Because yeah, I see a lot of Venoms, right, do this. They'll go down here, right, and they'll see a target, they'll engage, use all their abilities up, and then when they're taking damage, what are they doing? Guys, I'm running away. No. What you should do is find your nearest wall, right, and run. Okay, get the hell away from there, run. At the start of a match, you should never try to go for a kill. If you can, you should, but the majority of the time, you're not going to get a kill because usually healers can out-heal your damage, mainly because you're missing. If you don't miss, you'll get a kill, but if you're missing, what I recommend to you is this. Dash just like this, find the wall immediately, and get the fuck out and peel. Because as long as you're in their backline, they're going to start trying to just focus on you and focus on you and focus on you. You need to do this. At the beginning of the match, you just want to go in there, right, and just harass the backline and make sure they know that you're there. Even if you're not doing anything or just watching out, they're scared of you. But let's say there's not a wall. Literally just use your heal. Literally just use your heal, wait until you're 100, 200. By the time it comes back, you should have your tendril ready. The next thing you want to do when you're using the wall is literally to abuse it. Abuse the wall as much as you can because your mobility is actually freaking cracked. So go here, do some crazy shit. Let's say you're being shot at, okay? Let's say you're being shot at. Go on the wall and just start dodging the bullets like this. This might seem stupid, right? Let's say you're not even doing damage and you're trolling. You doing this and you're on the enemy backline, they will start focusing you. Even if you're not shooting or anything, they will start focusing on you. This should be your main source of mobility. Obviously, you can use the other tricks as well, but that should be your main source of mobility. Alright, anyways, the last few things I have for you guys is this. And these are the most important things. If you can take anything out of this video, please note these is practice your aim. Your aim is the most important thing on Venom. You can know a lot of movement text, but it doesn't matter if you can't aim. Make sure you figure out how to aim. Make sure you know when to melee versus using your aim. Second most important thing is your mobility. You have to know on when to disengage and to engage, what to use and what not to use, and to cycle your cooldowns. Usually when you're okay to waste everything, right? But sometimes you can't, especially if they have like triple damage, right? Or just a fuck ton of damage, just output. But usually you can, right? So remember that tip. And the last one I'm going to tell you is this. Go watch other people's videos or YouTube shorts, right? To see how they play Venom. Usually what I tend to find is that people don't play Venom like I do because they don't use the mobility tech, and I play Venom kind of like really off, right, to be honest. But there's nothing bad at learning from other people, so go ahead, check out other YouTubers, right? If you see that they're just kind of talking about the same shit, skip the YouTube video and find something else, right? Because everyone plays this character a little bit different, but for the majority everyone plays the same. So go out, watch other tutorials, right? Not just this one. I see a lot of YouTubers like, this is the only tutorial that you'll ever need. No, because opinions and texts will change over time. But anyways, make sure you have fun with the character. Make sure you don't rage, because you're going to lose a lot when you first start, playing him like I did. But yeah, that's about it. Take care. Much love. And if you guys did enjoy the video, give me a like, maybe even a sub, right? If I did miss anything, I'm sorry. I've been working on the other content as well, but this one's kind of been prioritizing the majority of my time, right? And I just really want to finish it. But yeah, that's about it. Take care. Much love. And I'll see you very soon. Penis.